to purify themselves. When they are 13 years old. In fact, this is such an amazing, powerful thing. I know this from my own experience. There are writers that write that religion is because of 13-year-olds. You know that? That something happens to a 13-year-old, that all of a sudden they start having faith in God. That before that they don't really have faith. There's a whole theory like that, So the Zohar, I'm not saying the Zohar says that's true, but look at what the Zohar says. The Zohar says until 13, the person has only a Yetzer Hara. Nice. And then when a person wants to work on himself, which is the bar mitzvah, that's why it's interesting. What's the first thing we do at a bar mitzvah? Or bat mitzvah, we make the young man, the young woman, do something. Now everybody has a mitzvah project, but even just, reading from the Torah, reading the Haftorah, doing some of the davening, giving a Dvar Torah. Do some mitzvah. Work on yourself. So it's a coming of age, and it's not just a regular coming of age, it's a coming of a new part of yourself, which is the Yetzer Tov. And then what happens? Then you have both. You have you have the first marriage within you. You have two partners within you. One on your right, one on your left. The Yetzer Tov on the right, the Yetzer Hara on the left. And again, these are like actual angels. I said before, the idea of a force, even a force within you, to be called an angel is not alien to the Zohar. They're constantly found with the person. If a person wants to work on themselves, to purify themselves, then the evil inclination becomes bound. It becomes diminished. It becomes subservient to the good inclination. We have both. They're struggling within us. When we overcome one with the other, we suppress it. We sublimate it. It's still there. We haven't killed it. We haven't gotten rid of it. All we've done is we've temporarily disabled its potential of that moment. Actually, we haven't done anything to its potential. We've done something to its actual opportunity to transgress or lead us to transgression at that moment. The sholat yamin al shmal, and the right rules over the left. V'tavayim is davgin lanatr lei levar nash b'chol echad dehu avid. But by the way, both of them are protective of the person. In other words, even the Yetzer Hara is not starting as a bad inclination. It's starting as a more self-centered, like people have self-preservation instincts. If you didn't have them, you would die. But if somebody's self-preservation instincts is that they're the most important person in the world, everybody else is worthless, that's evil. That's downright evil. But everything in between, your self-preservation interests in a way that's totally calculated to not harm anybody else more than is required and permitted, starts turning scales of shades of first gray and then darker gray and then finally black in terms of the lack of light, the lack of goodness. But in the beginning, they both are protect. They're both. It's actually in the balance. If you didn't want to take care of yourself in a physical way, you'd go out of existence also.